Да как мне чат этот достать? О, вот чат. Все. Тут пусть будет OBS на всякий случай. Ну ладно, начнем. Sardegnia, the land of judgments. Overnight did the old country change. Sardegnia, the land of sacraments. Blessed are we by your thunder and rain. Sardegnia, the land of eternity. Under the light of God are we prosperous again, except from Sardegnia under the light of God. Cathedral balcony. On the balcony of the cathedral, the newly anointed apostle Marco Polo stared with bewilderment at the sight before her. After a silence that was neither too long nor too short, the new apostle finally delivered her first word of address to the endless crowd stretching out before her. Marco Polo. I suppose I should say good morning. It's awfully bright today, isn't it? After the near superimposition event that took place in test site beta, Marco Polo fell into a comatose state. Now, upon her awakening, she found herself in a new world. Although she indeed was after a high throne and reverent subjects, this unexpected development left even her at loss for words. Just as she was about to bluff her way through her speech, two girls appeared at her sides. Josie Carducci. Forgive us, Your Grace, we should have planned for the event of intense sunlight. I will set up the curtains, please give me a moment. Raffaello. In the meantime, allow me to paint a picture of this holy moment. Marco Polo. Are they the Holy See's secretary and painter? Giuseppe Carducci. Here you are, Your Grace. While the curtains were being set up, the secretary Carducci handed Marco Polo an explanatory script for her to read. Marco Polo. Phew, magnificent assistance. I like this girl. Your name is Carducci, is it not? Carducci. Yes, Your Grace. I can see that you are having a moment, or should I say, you look like something is wrong. Raffaello and I will buy some time. Take this opportunity to read your script one more time, or just deliver your speech as is. We will take more after your address to the public. Marco Polo. Understood, thank you. Once the curtains were set up and Raffaella had finished her sketchwork, the apostle once more showed herself to the masses. With composure, confidence, and majestic spirit, she delivered her speech without the script. The conclusion of her address was punctured by thunderous applauses and cheers. Then, the new audience was over. Audience was over. Cathedral Apostles' Office. When the speech was over, Raffaello and Carducci escorted Marco Polo to her office. Through their conversation on the way there, Marco learned just who these two shipgirls were. Giuseppe Carducci was her secretary as well as poet. Raffaello, meanwhile, was a freelance artist, close to the Holy See. Marco Polo. Thank you both for your help here earlier. Goodness knows how it would have gone had you not been there. Carducci. I just did my job. Frankly, Your Grace, you gave an incredible impromptu speech, so why did you seem so confused at first? Did the ritual have some sort of effect on your mind, since it wasn't fully carried out? Marco Polo, the ritual? She keenly picked up on the key word in that sentence. Carducci, yes, Your Grace. You were given form by the technology that was left behind as the relics of God. Therefore, your destiny is to become the apostle and to wield extraordinary strength. I believe I already explained this to you once before. Yoshi Carducci gave a superfluous comment under her breath. Marco Polo, explained it to me before? Is this like with that script? That reminds me, I think I heard something in my dreams before I came to this world. Upon me your eyes gazed, on my ears songs of adoration echo. From the clouds I descend, returning from heaven. A voice spoke a hymn to me in my sleep. The voice sounded familiar. Wait, was this ritual not meant to herald the arrival of something? Marco Polo. Raffaella, were you also involved in the ritual of descent? Then this isn't our very first meeting. Of Raffaella. Of course I was. In fact, the reason the ritual went so well was thanks to my art. I don't know what you mean by not our first meeting. By strictly speaking, I knew about you before you knew about me, so yeah. Marco Polo. Excuse me, what? Oh, I see, you drew a portrait of me, and that was used as a
Кстати, Денис, я оформила завтра с тобой поеду.
Да, надо быстрее уметь выключать. Ну ладно, как бы пофиг. Все равно никто смотреть особо не будет. Марко Поло. Oh, I see. You drew a portrait of me, and that was used as a catalyst to summon my spirit to this world, yes? But then, how did you know what I looked like? Raffaella. Saw you in a dream and paid in that. That's how. Marco Polo, do you know a woman by the name of Shinano? Raffaella. Shina who? Who is that? Marco Polo, never mind. I broadly understand the situation. Marco Polo, I can make sense of this if I interpret it as a revelation from God, but perhaps it's more. Perhaps God even gave me a chance. So then, my soul descended upon this world in the form of a spirit, in a dream. Carducci, Your Grace, you needn't work yourself up. Your arrival was divine intervention. Even if you do experience some after effects, that does not change the fact that you are the apostle. Marco Polo, after effects? Forget I asked. You do at least understand that since you summoned me here, I am not a native of this world, yes? Then, if you're friends of mine, I would like to verify a few things. First of all, what are the sirens up to now? Also, who is this god I keep hearing about? Raffaello, you are not a native of this world? Did that ritual actually summon an honest-to-God spirit from heaven? Marco Polo, huh? What are you confused about? Didn't you yourself perform the ritual? Raffaello, we did, yeah, but it wasn't just a ritual. We still used wisdom cubes. In theory, shouldn't you be the same as us? Marco Polo, you literally said I was summoned using technology left in the ruins of God, or whatever, just a minute ago. Raffaella, and that's all true. The ritual was held in the shipyard of God, so naturally it used technology left behind by God. Speaking of the shipyard, me and Carducci were both born in it too. It's just that no weird machines were used in our cases. I guess you're special in that way. Maybe that's why you came from a world beyond our own? That would explain everything. Aren't I a genius? Raphael accepted her theory no later than she came up with it. Marco Polo, wait, shipyard of God? What are you going to tell me next? The God is just a place name here? Raphael, no, we are talking actual divine miracles here. In addition to the shipyard, there is also the palace of God, the garden of God, the armory of God, and so on. If you wanna see them, I could devise a sightseeing route for you. Marco Polo's thoughts were struggling to keep up with the situation. Marco Polo, okay, next question. What about the sirens? Quick! Raphael, what do you mean sirens? Like alarms? Marco Polo, yeah, left out speechless. Raffaella, question mark? Carducci, it seems your grace requires a lot more information. Marco Polo, yes, information, magnificent, give it to me. Carducci, okay, I'll get it for you. However, your meeting with the College of Cardinals is soon, so I suggest that you start preparing for that. Marco Polo, preparing? A scene? Right now? Carducci, yes, you have many matters from all over the Ecclesia to deal with. Marco Polo, very well. I am the apostle after all. If I don't do it, no one will. Paradise of shackled light. Paradiso of shackled light. It will be a long journey, to be honest. Cathedral Apostles' Office. After several hellish days of gathering information, the industrious and prodigious Marco Polo had finally developed a rough grasp on the world she found herself in. After her dull meetings were over, she returned to her office, where sorted through the things she had seen and heard over the past few days. Marco Polo. The point is this. This Sardegna Ecclesia desired a ship-girl apostle at the heart of their belief. Through some unknown means and a lot of work, they called forth my sleeping soul and gave me a body through the use of wisdom cubes, thus bringing me to their world. Therefore, you could both say that the person that they call Marco Polo is both me and also not me. From my perspective, this is something like a dream, but to these people, this world is without a doubt real. It's fascinating, I never thought I would get to experience it's like to descend from the heavens. Honestly, I quite like it. She lightly shook her head, then picked up a nearby dessert and casually tossed it into her mouth. Marco Polo, yes, I wanted to be this, an apostle. On what planet or in what dimension doesn't matter. What matters is that God has not forsaken me. Although, was I really called here just to fulfill my ambitions? There is much Auri in this world, after all. She turned to the side and unfolded a rolled-up map sitting on the corner of her desk. The country I descended upon is known as Sardegnia League, a federation located on the Apennine archipelago. One could call it the central governing body of the states that these islands are home to. Its history goes back over 1,000 years in time from now. At the time, it was known as the Apennine Peninsula, a name more familiar to me. As time passed, their empire should have crumbled after many consecutive years of war. Then, however, their history diverged from ours. After withstanding all those worlds, the Empire actually appeared to be on the brink of revival. However, the Empire believed in a foreign god, and it was eventually destroyed by a divine punishment known as Paradise Lost. So tremendous was this punishment that the Empire was not only destroyed, but also the literal land on which it stood was split into pieces. Thus, the Peninsula became the Apennine Archipelago, and a nation known as the Sardegna Ecclesia was born. Then 1,000 years passed, and the archipelago developed into 7 countries that went on to form this centralized government known as the Sardegna League. At its center are the Sardegna Ecclesia and the Republic of Florence. In the west lies the Genoan Republic. To the north, the Dukedom of Milan. Dukedom of Milan. Eastward, the Republic of Venice. And in the south, the Kingdom of Naples and the Kingdom of Sicily. These two have since unified. Damn, that's a lot. It is now known as the Kingdom of the Two Sicilies. All states within the Sardegna League are under the rule of the Sardegna Ecclesia. They are in charge not just because they have been around the longest, but also because God truly exists in this world, and this God left relics across the country. These relics not only put the Ecclesia at the forefront of science and culture, but also provided it with military dominance. She carelessly threw the map aside and leaned back in her reclining chair, seemingly at a loss. Marco Polo. The shipyard of God, garden of God, armory of God, all left behind by this being. What is going on in this world without sirens? How did it become so radically different from my world? No, wait, that's it. The siren's absence is clearly the biggest divergence. Clemenceau and the commander once said, не знаю, как правильно, Clemenceau, если я буду правильно прям читать. And the commander once said something about how the sirens conduct different experiments in each and every branch. Some experiments are modest, others extreme, and others still are rather bizarre. If any circumstance is bizarre, it has to be this one. Perhaps this is but another roundabout experiment. The sirens are nothing if not sly, so... Knock knock. As she was running all this information through her head, trying to figure out the siren's plan, a few knocks rang out outside her office. Raffaello and Carducci came in. They gazed at Marco Polo lying sideways in her recliner. Carducci. Your Grace, I would advise you to be more cognizant of your appearance. Carducci put away the snacks scattered around the desk and sorted through the papers. Raffaello, meanwhile, stared intently at Marco Polo, drawing a picture of her in her mind. Marco Polo. What does it matter when only my inner circle comes here anyway? I care not to look dignified around the clock. What brings you here now anyway? Carducci. We received news that cleaning work has finished at the 9th Armory of God. It's ready to be opened. Of course, if you still need time to prepare, I could ask them to wait a day or two. Marco Polo. The 9th Armory. The College of Cardinals mentioned it. It's the one that's been sealed since ancient times, and only I can open it? Yes. Carducci. Correct. The Holy See's ancient records state that God not only left his most powerful weapons there for his subjects, but also that the key to even greater power lies there. Marco Polo. Time for an outing then. Magnificent. My curiosity is piqued, and I'm ready to go. Carducci. As you say, I will begin on preparations for your departure at once. We'll leave in an hour. Let's go, Raffaello. Raffaello. Huh? Wait, I just got a search of inspo. Let me at least draw a sketch first. La Marco Polo. Carducci, let Raffaele stay here for a while. The importance of depicting my majestic figure is not to be understated. Carducci, very well. We will reconvene in an hour. Reconvene, yeah. Marco Polo, no one but me can open that armory, huh? Has the responsibilities of being the chosen one. How magnificent! Be they god or a siren, I will personally reveal their true form. It's only 1 to 2. It's long. It's very long, damn. And the fact that I'm reading it will be Sardinia Ecclesia, 9th Armory of God. After a bumpy ride, Marco Polo and her aides arrived at their destination. Exiting their car, they found that their escort, Maggiore Baracca, was already waiting for them in front of the church. Maggiore Baracca. I will call her just Baracca. Cannons ready for a salute. Kaboom. Your Grace, welcome to the Armory of God. I am Maggiore Baracca, your bodyguard. How's your journey? With a courteous bow, Maggiore Baracca introduced herself to Marco Polo. Faced with such a grand and splendid reception, Marco Polo was overcome with emotion. Marco Polo, Veneto, Littorio, and Clemenceau always get special treatment just like this. But in this place, I am the important one. My journey went fine, thanks. I trust you will keep us safe, Baracca. Incidentally, what is this church? Is this Armory of God 9? The one I'm going to open? Although the building before her certainly was impressive, it didn't quite fit with her image of an Armory of God. Baracca, it's just a facade to hide the entrance, Your Grace. The real armory is underneath the church. Marco Polo, I suppose that makes sense. If you want to hide a big structure, put it underwear. Oh. Put it underwater or underground. A little mistake. Put it underwater or underground. Once upon a time I did, actually, never mind. Sensing the inquisitive eyes of onlookers, she cut herself short and looked around with a hint of awkwardness. Turning her gaze upward, she caught sight of 2 figures who she recognized. Who? Alfredo Oriani! Yeah, this angle is good! Snap! Yeah, you heard the sound. Gotta snap a few more photos to record this historic moment. Hey, Da Vinci, try to hold a little more steady. We are going, of course. I'm doing the best I can, alright? Leonardo da Vinci said. Marco Polo, Alfredo and Da Vinci, did they get sent here too? No, wait, calm down. They could be natives to this test site, for all I know. Carducci, that is the Ecclesia famous journalist Alfredo Oriani, and that is the genius inventor Leonardo da Vinci. They were asked to record this historic moment. They were, however, not asked to board a flying machine and take pictures from the air. They are an independent party. If they are an annoyance to you, Your Grace, I can tell them to leave at once. Carducci noticed that Marco Polo was staring at them, so she issued an explanation. Marco Polo, interesting. Has it been long since they were materialized? Carducci, yes, they are trustworthy allies who has served the Ecclesia for quite some time now. Marco Polo, no issue then. I have been in a good mood lately, and I'd hate for my test site beta origins to be exposed. Magnificent! The more people to photograph my splendor, the better, I say. Let's leave them be for now and get down to business, shall we? Baracca, sure, this way, Your Grace. Maggiore Baracca escorted the apostle and her aides underground. Как прочитать? Правильно. Aides. Aids?
AIDS.
AIDS, okay, AIDS. and her aides underground, and went through a tunnel hidden behind a secret passage. At the end of the tunnel, the walls around them turned metal. The lighting and general structure too were radically different from what they saw before. At some point, Rafaela had also overtaken Baraka as the one walking at the front. Rafaela, we are finally at the outer periphery of the Ninth Armory and just about to pass through the first checkpoint. Whatever you do, don't go in front of me until the safety check is finished. Rafaela went straight forward, approaching a high security gate. Marco Polo, a gate made of an unknown metal and a strange automated security system? It's far beyond the Sardinia League technological standard. Yet this white color sheen doesn't feel like any siren structure I have seen. No, don't jump to conclusions. This could be clever camouflage employed by the sirens. Rafaela, okay, check's done. We can go through. While thoughts rushed through Marco Polo's head, Rafaela completed the first checkpoint verification process. The heavy gate slowly opened, and as soon as the path forward appeared, a realization dawned upon Marco Polo. Rafaela, didn't you say I was the only one who could open this door? How come you did it with such little difficulty? Rafaela, good question, cause I'm just that awesome, I guess. I'm kidding. I can only get us through the outer checkpoints. Opening the gate to the armory proper, only you can do that. Marco Polo, but it's still part of the same facility. Isn't it strange to you? Carducci, it seems I must once again explain matters. As you should know by now, the Ecclesia has been carrying out a several-year-long plan to create a ship girl capable of opening the armories of God. As such, your materialization had some different processes from the rest of us. Rafaela's art was one of them. In fact, Rafaela herself was materialized in the very step of the plan preceding yours. Thus, her situation is also a little different. With the help of a relic of God, she was born with some unique powers. One is being able to condense the power of belief through the act of drawing. The other is being able to pass some verification steps in God's facilities. Marco Polo, she can condense the power of belief? So even the little things you doodle contain a safeguarding sacred power, do they? They are also capable of performing miracles, I take it? Rafaela, I wouldn't go that far. I guess you could say the effect depends on how well I can conceptualize something or how compatible with God's machines I am. Marco Polo, let's say I don't know what you mean by conceptualize something and how compatible with God's machines you are. How would you explain it? Rafaela, well, the conceptualize part is straightforward. Literally, how well I can conceive something in my mind. Everyone in the Holy See, like Carducci for example, likes calling it power of belief. But Da Vinci and I both think calling it brain power is more accurate. It's not like it's an ability exclusive to those of strong faith. Heck, even casual believers and atheists more or less have the same thing. It's also not really linked to the divine either, so... Carducci, it's a figure of speech. Also, random people can't simply conceptualize a physical thing that authenticates them with God's machines, can they? Rafael, see, that's why it's so weird that the Holy Sees call it the power of belief. The source of power is the same, so why it's belief? The only thing they allowed to convert into something else, while the rest isn't. Baraka. Rafael, oh sorry. Rafaela remembered the importance of not slandering the Holy See right in front of the apostle. She made an awkward expression, then looked anxiously in Marco Polo's direction. The apostle was not stirred in the least. Indeed, she looked indifferent, like her mind was somewhere else entirely. Marco Polo. So she can use her conceptual ability through art, but she must obey the Holy See's rules. Don't I make the rules, though? I'm the apostle, for heaven's sake. Perhaps I could get her to conceive of and materialize 1,000 powerful weapons. Yes, that's what I will do. After all, the apostle should at least possess a fleet devoted to her. I will get Queen Elizabeth and Clemenceau and Frederick the Grobe and even the commander and have them all work for me. I will laugh. I will not laugh. Carducci, Your Grace, is everything alright? Raphael, oh man, she wants my head on a spike, doesn't she? Marco Polo, anything but. It's just that an amusing thought struck me. Raffaello, when you paint for me next time, could you provide me with some more creative designs? Raffaello, creative designs? Like what? Marco Polo, oh, a holy lance, for instance, or 4 pairs of wings, perhaps even a divine armored mech. Raffaello, oh, so you have a taste for that sort of stuff. If that's what you want, I will gladly oblige. This fucking word. How would we go? Oblige or oblige? Oblige, okay. I will gladly oblige, Your Grace. I am free to draw other things too. Would you like to have a mythical creature as a pet? Marco Polo, ah, you're ingenious artist. You know just what I like. Raphael, and you're the most unique, open-minded client I have ever had. Marco Polo, you and I will be excellent collaborators. Raphael took the words right off my mouth. Oh, Carducci and Baraka looking at them like, what the fuck? Yeah. Ninth Armory of God, Gate of the Chosen One. While Marco Polo oh yeah. While Marco Polo and Raphael laughed and laughed, the group had reached their final destination. Raphael, that over there, that's the gate even I can't get open. The Holy See calls it the Gate of the Chosen One. Rumors say that God's most powerful weapons and a clue to getting even greater power lie beyond. Anyway, Your Grace, it's your time to shine. Marco Polo, child's play. I spilled now. I spilled now? Ah, I understand. I spilled now. With a confident strut, Marco Polo walked up to the Gate of the Chosen One. She remembered the important things Raffaella told her at the previous checkpoint. She recited a prayer and pushed against the alloyed part, I guess. Alloyed, yeah, alloyed part of the gate with both hands. Then she felt a jolt of energy travel from her head to her toes, as though that was the sign her identity had been verified. The jolt dissipated, and at the same time, the gate slowly opened before her. Marco Polo, just like that? I was expecting there to be more fanfare, more glittering lights or something. Baraka, congrats, Your Grace! The Sardegna Ecclesia has grown mightier today, thanks to you. Marco Polo, yes, and I may yet grow mightier, too. Let us not celebrate so soon. Come along now, it's time to see what's in there. Gate of the Chosen One inside. On the other side of the massive gate was a mind-boggling large space. Baraka, mountains, rivers, even a sky. Wow! I wasn't expecting there to be a sacred domain here of all things. This is the second ever domain the Ecclesia has found, the first being the Garden of God, beneath the cathedral. Marco Polo, this is blatantly a mirror sea. The probability of secret siren involvement just rose significantly. Pray tell, what exactly is a sacred domain? Raffaella, well, this, just look at it. We are underground, yet there is somehow a sky over our heads. A sacred domain is what the Holy See calls a space that constitutes its own world. It's a considered sacrament of the highest caliber. Based on my and Da Vinci's research, this place and rigging technology should have pretty similar roots. Of course, riggings, ship girls, this, the Holy See, refers to all of them as sacraments. So yeah, I guess you could say it's an impeccable self-contained system. Baraka, Raphael, oh sorry, I'm rambling again. Marco Polo, it's fine, I don't let every little thing get on my nerves. Moreover, some parts of your mossings are interesting. Now, seeing as you need the chosen one to enter this place, I seriously doubt there are any traps or such out to harm us. What do you say we split up to cover more ground, huh? Carducci, a most prudent proposal, your grace. Marco Polo, magnificent, then let's go. Remember, if you find any strange machines, do not touch them. And should anything happen, call me at once. We'll regroup here in 3 hours. After the group scattered in every direction, Marco Polo went the way that had caught her eye since she first entered the Mirror Sea. Over her many years studying Mirror Seas, she had developed an intuition that if she kept going, she was bound to find an important structure. This instruction was, in fact, correct. This intuition was in fact correct. Her attention was drawn by a facility buried in a mountain range, not that far from there. She went inside and conducted a basic search and found something that proved her suspicion more than anything else up to this point. Marco Polo, a storehouse for the Mirror Sea mass-produced fleet and pounds, and the massive defensive installations unlike anything I have seen before. These must be the rumored powerful weapons. As for the means to even greater power, a siren production line, perhaps. I'm sure of it now. While their appearance don't match anything I have seen, this armory of God is in fact a siren armory. Wait a moment. Then that means the god, who the Sardinia League has been worshipping for centuries, is the Sirens? The Ecclesia and the Holy See are merely puppets under the Siren's beck and call? And I am their apostle? So my puppet leader? Oh no, I am being controlled yet again? No, wait, that doesn't add up. If the Sirens are this test side's god, doesn't it mean I was chosen by the Sirens? That can't be right. When I was in that white space, I could feel his presence. But I do have control over these siren facilities. What's strangest of all is that I'm at what appears to be the heart of this place. Yet I have seen not a single elite siren thus far. If Observer or her kin was here, shouldn't they come and speak to me at this point? Since they haven't, what do they expect me as a puppet to do? That proves it! I am not under anyone's control! Yes, I am not a puppet, I truly am the chosen one. It wasn't the Sirens who summoned me, no, it was a god. He saw the blasphemous. Как это читается? Blasphemous. He saw the blasphemous state of the world and set me to correct it. That has to be it. 3 hours passed in the blink of an eye, while Marco Polo racked her brains. It was time to rendezvous and go back. Carducci, Your Grace, I have recorded all of our findings over this expedition. As was written in the ancient text, this is indeed an armory of God. Marco Polo, Barak, once again, congrats to you, Your Grace. Marco Polo, Raphael, as far as I can tell, all the facilities are in a sleep mode, yeah? Your Grace, what do you say we boot them up? Marco Polo, sure. Wait, no! Carducci, is something the matter, Your Grace? Marco Polo, she wants to just fire up a siren production line? Is she insane? You see, the situation is more complicated than I anticipated. If you wake them small, if you wake the small fry, fine, not the end of the world. But what if you wake the sleeping giants? Do you think you can take on someone the likes of Observer, huh? It would be unwise to make a hasty decision. Given the importance of this place, we should evaluate our opinions. And yes, we must think things through carefully. Ideally, I can figure out a way to blow this all to Kingdom Come later. This is my final verdict as the Apostle. Let us debate whether or not to initiate the facilities another time. For now, we are going home. This place is dangerous. I must get away post-haste, I don't know. And so it was over. The new Apostle had completed her opening and inspection of the Ninth Armory of God. Разделяемся как-то. Separation of the story a little bit. Republic of Florence, capital City Street. On this pleasantly sunny day, the streets of Florence were as lively as ever. A girl in red spoke with one distant comrade in less conspicuous, shadowy corner of the capital. Bartolomeo Colleoni. Andrea, how are preparations at the rear proceeding? Andrea Doria Meta. We have finished negotiations. The Venetian and Genoan Venetian and Genoan republics will join us in turn. As for the Dukedom of Milan, they will remain neutral given their allyship with the Ecclesia. Can we get a little bit less difficult words to pronounce, please? Our only direct opposition is the Republic of Florence, the most convenient outcome we could have hoped for. Colleoni, Florence. The girl in red cast a glance upon the lively streets, but she stopped herself and shook her head. Colleoni, everything is going smoothly. It's a good start. Andrea, we have spent countless years working towards this day. One decrepit theocracy decrepit theocracy can't stop us, nor can their false god. We'll be the ones to pen the end of this long tale. Bartolomeo Colleoni. Don't worry, my infiltration is a success so far. Everyone should think that I'm still in Rome with the Republic of Venice delegations. Even the latest of God's light can't penetrate the pall of eternal night. The time has come for us to break out of our confines, Andrea. So it has, and so we shall. It was quick. Okay, same. Unknown location, unknown time. We, as a commander, Euphoria save. Oh wait, Euphoria. Ethiopia Savoy and Dr. Aos's Project H. After my return from Naraka, while I tried to deliver the sleeping Marco Polo to the ashes, I was warped to this gate. A recording had played before leaving me in a world of endless white. The only notable thing here was the constant feeling of being watched. I looked in the directions where it seems to come from, and amidst the white expanse I noticed a barely perceptible change. There is something over there. Some kind of silhouette? Immediately as I perceive it, a thin path seems to appear in the empty space. A single door stands quietly at the end of it. Is that how this place works? Something only begins to physically exist as you perceive and attempt to observe it. That must mean that this isn't just an empty white space. It could be full of things, only invisible because I have yet to observe them. While I ponder it, I walk slowly towards the new door. I reach out to touch it, and everything changed abruptly. Specks of blue light flicker like stars amidst a sea of black. They appear, move, and fade all in regular intervals. Throughout this repeating cycle, a few clusters of stars form four figures of varying clarity. War Protocol Fortress. Connectivity test success. Spatial structure stable. Data exchange normal. Flow is stable. Perception is clear. And reactions are acute. Now commencing the 114th Project Arbiter Artificial Mind Briefing. Present members: War Protocol Fortress, War Protocol Moon, War Protocol Skies, and Project H. Commencing information exchange. War Protocol... How it will pronounce? Sky... Скит, я не знаю. Коса. Ну потому что смерть, да. Psi. War Protocol Psi. What a dry and formulaic intro. As usual, I guess. I have 5 topics for discussion. Let me start. War Protocol Moon. Hold it. I want to speak with Project H first, particularly regarding the abnormalities that occurred during yesterday's equipment protocol testing. Your report mentioned unusual visual changes that exceeded sensor detections radius, was it? You know, Project H, we can see each other's structures in our most fundamental forms here. How about you bring back the equipment you were testing and try to replicate the issue? Maybe we can see the problem for ourselves. Wow. Just casually throwing 3 arbiters? It's by the different names. By the way. That's cool. It's interesting, I would say, even. And it's only 6 out of 36. I don't know, maybe I will not be able to do it in one go, in one stream. And that's bad. Because of course I'm still reading. Cathedral Apostle Office. After the investigation of the 9th Armory of God, Marco Polo stayed locked up in her office, putting all of her energy into devising a plan. However, she did not neglect her work as apostle. A week... Как оно читается? How it correctly pronounced? Apostle. Apostle. Oh my god. Apostle. Okay. It will be apostle now. A week passed by in what seemed like seconds. While she had yet to complete her secret plans, the mountain of work she owed to the Holy See had been dealt with. Knock knock. Carducci. You called for me, Your Grace? Marco Polo. Carducci, I see. I have finished all of the work at hand. That is everything, yes? Carducci. I must apologize. We have no more at this moment. Marco Polo. It's not enough. Nowhere near enough. I need more work. I need more data. I need more information. My knowledge of this world is still all too lacking. At this rate, my brilliant plan could never come to fruition. To fucking what? To fruition. Raffaella. Hey, Carducci. It's just me, or has her gaze gone cuckoo from overwork? Carducci. You will hold your tongue if you know what's good for you. Raffaello. You didn't disagree, though. That means you must agree. Carducci. That's enough. I have nothing but respect for her grace and her impeccable work Ethic. Marco Polo, you know I can hear everything you're saying, right? Carducci, Your Grace, we think you may overburdened. Have you considered more frequent rest? A new chart has just been completed in Florence. It would be a lovely change of pace to pay them a visit, I'm sure. Raffaella, oh, that one. They put up a gallery of my newest collection of paintings too. Marco Polo, a whole collection of church murals? Yeah, that does sound perfect actually. Wait, a church? Is it some kind of dangerous house of horrors built under siren orders, is it? If it is, then that's all the more reason that I need to see it. Carducci, what do you think, Your Grace? Marco Polo, very well. A brilliant idea and one that I was just pondering myself. Prepare to leave at once. The inside of the apostle... Подожди, я же уже apostle. Никакой apostle. Apostle. Inside of apostle... I don't remember. Cabin. Amid the rhythmic shaking of the train, the party proceeded onward to Florence. Marco Polo checked on each of her subordinates one by one. Carducci quietly composed a poem, meanwhile Raffaella gazed at the scenery outside, no doubt envisioning her next work. Their escort, Maggiore Baracca, was in the midst of a spirited debate with two uninvited guests, the journalist Alfredo Oriani and famous inventor Leonardo da Vinci. These familiar voices finally eased Marco Polo's mental tension from the past week. The excitement of being chosen, the loneliness of a new world, the fear of a siren conspiracy, the exhaustion of many days' hard work. So much had pressured her lately, but in this moment she managed to fall into a deep sleep. In the morning light, a well-regulated army received their leader's inspection. Vittorio Veneto. Your Grace, the Crusaders await your review. Vittorio. The parade commemorating 100 years of your rule has been in the works for a long time. We won't disappoint. Marco Polo the Great. Very good. Well done, Veneto and Vittorio. Just a shame that the weather is a little too chilly for my liking. Frederick the Grob. Your cloak, Your Grace. Marco Polo the Great. Good. And my scepter? Clemenceau. I have your scepter here, Your Grace. Marco Polo the Great. Oh, snap. Marco Polo the Great. Delete that one, Alfredo. I wasn't posing. We'll need to take it again. Alfredo Rami. As you wish, Your Grace. Marco Polo the Great. Raffaello and Da Vinci, I trust you're carefully considering the composition of my portrait. Raffaello, you can trust us, Your Grace. Marco Polo the Great. Leonardo da Vinci, rest assured, Your Grace. Carducci, Your Grace, it's almost time to begin the procession. Procedure. Marco Polo the Great. As I recall, Richelieu is to lead the first troop, yes? Carducci, that is correct. Marco Polo the Great. Good. And who goes after her? Actually, read all of the formation out to me. Carducci, as you wish. The second will be led by Queen Elizabeth, the third by Bismarck, and the fourth by Roma. The fifth by Советский Союз, the sixth by Iowa, the seventh by Yamata, and the eighth by Yat Sen. Finally, the ninth of 13th formation will be headed by your 5 archangels. Marco Polo the Great. Good. Wait, come again? 5 archangels? Carducci. Yes, Your Grace. The 5 archangels who descended by God's will and now serve as your loyal subordinates. The archangels of insight, the archangels of ordeal, the archangel of cleansing, the archangel of annihilation, and the archangel of construction. Это что, сирены будут или арбитры? Marco Polo the Great. Wait a second. Observer, tester, purifier, omitter, and compiler? Я как сказал, ну, сирена, в принципе. Even they obey me? Carducci. No, Your Grace, Marco Polo the Great. They only serve God as his messengers. Marco Polo the Great. Ah, God. Then what does that makes me? Carducci. Your Grace, surely you must know yourself better than anyone. Marco Polo the Great. No, I'm not their puppet. Whatever shame... Whatever sham... Я не могу так красиво это... Шам? Что за шам? Так красиво было, что за слово испортило? Такую речь. Приманка. Sham? Whatever sham gods those sirens worship, it's not real. To call them angels is a damn lie. Carducci, Your Grace, the archangels are listening. You must calm yourself. Marco Polo говорит, I am God Messenger. I am the chosen one. Carducci, Your Grace, Marco Polo. Marco Polo, no. Carducci, Your Grace, did you have a nightmare? Marco Polo, nightmare? It started off as a good dream. Don't worry about me, I just haven't been sleeping well. Guess even my dreams are stressed out. Hey, why is the train stopped? Carducci, we are already there. The others are checking station safety, and once they are done, you may alight. Leonardo da Vinci. We have got some stuff to do, so we are out. Thanks for letting us hitch a ride. Alfredo Arianami. Bye bye, see ya. Marco Polo. Do they not need to wait? Carducci. Nobody can scratch the great Da Vinci, or so she claims. And apparently they find it strange for shipgirls to be stuck waiting for safety checks on a train. Marco Polo. I happen to agree. Why do we have to wait? Carducci. According to Baraka, this is Holy See tradition. Marco Polo. But I am a ship girl. Forget the tradition. Let's just go to the church already. Carducci. Are you certain, Your Grace? Marco Polo. Who knows that the enemy might be shaming while we waste our time. We have to act fast. Plus, that dream of mine just now gave me a brilliant idea that might get us the upper hand. Carducci. Sorry, I don't understand what you're talking about whatsoever. Marco Polo, forget it. What matters is that we take actions now instead of dawdling. Let's go. Unknown location, unknown time. When, I guess it's from our perspective as commander, when I return from the recorded memory beyond the door, the distant silhouette I saw feels like it becomes just a little clearer. Project H, and something about an artificial mind? Must be referring to an AI. As thoughts float through my head like clouds, a new door reveals itself ahead of the path. I reach out to touch it, and everything changed abruptly. Wow, it's actually a really cool picture. Not like I have never seen it, it has these ripples and stripes, like it wasn't here before. A fleet proceeds at high speed across a silvery white sea. What the fuck is this music? I have never... heard this one. Okay. A fleet proceeds at high speed across silvery white sea. Project M. Hierophant. Ah, Project H, Hierophant, I guess. Wow, I spoke too loudly, I guess. On the OBS, I was in the red. In the red mark. How I sound on stream, by the way? I never checked actually. Maybe I'm shouting as fuck. Who knows? Let me check it on YouTube real quick. In the red mark. How I sound? Okay. A fleet proceeds at high speed across silvery white sea. Project M. Hierophant. Ah, Project H, Hierophant, I guess. Wow, I spoke too loudly, I guess. Yeah, it was pretty loud, but I guess normal. Again, for the first thing like this, I guess it's okay. Yeah, sorry for taking a pause from the storyline. So let's continue. Project M. Hierophant, we will arrive at the distressed signal's point of origin in 3 minutes. Currently, no signs of life have been detected. Yes, I know the interference is so strong that my search results aren't reliable. Kaboom. Project M. Warning, miming bees detected in distress signals area. Looks like they are lying in ambush. Warning, miming beast interference across all ship system detected. That confirms it. This is a trap. Employing experimental rod of Hierophant. Hierophant's interference is getting weaker. Interference. Yes, I detected that the source of it disappeared at the same time. Experimental rod of Hierophant usage complete. Data collection complete. Tunguska meteorite sample status is normal. Employing experimental rod of Hierophant. Disintegration characteristic pure white. Observation successful. Strike effect detected. Airborne and waterborne mimic and entity vector zones are collapsing. Experimental rod of Hierophant usage complete. Data collection complete. Tunguska meteorite sample status is normal. Hierophant coordinates for the next. Oh, it's normal. Hierophant coordinates for the next area of operation have arrived. Revising course. Oh fuck! It was. What the fuck is this? It's funny. Florence Garden. A strange sense of unease gripping her. Marco Polo headed straight to the destination with her aides. At first, that is the... Wait. At first, that is. Then the free and lively mood of Florence lured her into taking a pleasant stroll through the streets. They enjoyed a relaxing field trip that hour before eventually arriving at the church. There, Marco Polo laid eyes on the murals Raffaello had painted, taking away the last dregs of unease in her mind. Now, she lay sideways on a lounge chair in a garden, thinking about another important matter. Marco Polo. Look, Raffaello, how do I look holding this sword? A ceremonial sword in hand, Marco Polo struck a graceful pose, while Raffaello painstakingly committed Her Majesty to canvas paper. Raffaello, looking good, Your Grace. You look perfect with the sword, fighting back evil and seizing victory. Marco Polo, magnificent. Then I shall name the sword Blade of the Preeminent. Make it so the grip is furnished with gold and inlaid with sapphires, and make the blade of meteoritic steel blessed with good fortune. Be sure to add angel wings, the Eye of Truth, and an inscription that says Marco Polo, the Chosen One. Let me be clear, the sword I'm holding is only a visual reference. What I just described is how you should paint it. Raffaello, yeah, I got it. I'm pro, remember? Marco Polo, of course, I trust your experience. Marco Polo, oh yeah, but I must ask, you have started drawing, so why is it that your art doesn't grant me the things and powers you depict me with? Raffaello, your guess is as good as mine. Maybe it's not complete enough? Or something, it's only at the initial sketch stage, so yeah. Marco Polo, that would make sense. Continue then. Baraka, bring me my stuff. What the nахуй, блядь. A while later, Marco Polo held her stuff high and proud. Marco Polo, I will call this the Brilliant One stuff. The principal material should be narwhal horns, decorated with gold. And inscribe it with Marco Polo, the Chosen One. Raffaello, you got it. Anything else? Marco Polo, add a big ruby at its very end. Be sure to also include a decoration consisting of an angel wings and the Eye of Truth. Raffaello, sure thing. Do you want anything else? Marco Polo, that will be all for now. Also, this pose isn't quite doing it for me. Come up with a few variations, would you? I'll pick the one I like most. Raphael, oh sure. Marco Polo, let's give the orb a try next. Baraka, the globus cruciger, fetch it for me. I don't know how it will be cruciger. Sometime later, Marco Polo raised an orb with a cross haughtily towards the heavens. Raphael, okay, what it will be this time? I need deeds. Marco Polo, I name this orb and cross the orb of the grandest one. Raphael, Roger Dodger, decorated with gold, furnished with an angel wings and the Eye of Truth, and inscribed with the words Marco Polo the Chosen One, right? Raphael, she continued speaking. What gemstone do you want? Marco Polo, a large topaz at the very top, surrounded by small diamonds and a gate. Agate, я так понимаю. Agates. I want to see some amber too. Raphael noted. How many different poses do you want? One, Marco Polo, one will do. What do you think of this one? Raphael, are you about to throw the orb like a shot football? Marco Polo, first shalt thou take out the holy pin, then shalt thou count to 3, no more, no less. 3 shalt be the number thou shalt count, 4 shalt thou not count, nor either count thou 2, excepting that thou then proceed to 3, 5 is right out. I didn't understand a thing, to be honest. Once the number 3, being the third number, be reached, then lobest thou thy holy hand grenade of Antioch towards thy foe. Maggiora Baraka? Question mark. Raphael, what? Oh, you don't get it? Must be ahead of this world times, I suppose. Any pose will do that. Present whichever you like. The more variants, the better. Raphael, okay. You're a barak. Marco Polo had Raffaello paint her in all kinds of ways, and yet none of them gave her any sort of power. While that pursuit yielded no fruit, it was an entertaining and relaxing afternoon for her. Come the evening, she received news from Carducci, who had gone off to do something else. She told her that the church facilities were ready for inspection. Oh, it was pretty much funny, actually. After a lavish dinner, Marco Polo and her followers arrived at the entrance to the newly built church. Like their visit to the Armory of God, they went through a narrow underground tunnel and wound up inside another vast space. Marco Polo, aren't these devices different from the ones we saw in the last stream? They don't look antique, or rather they look like they have always been here. Carducci, that's because they haven't. The church designed this equipment over many years based on records left in the ruins of God. Marco Polo, what does it mean? That this place is easier to control, not because the connection to God is strong, but because of the heavy presence of man-made machines? Carducci, you can think of it like that. This facility is formally known as Source of God's Light. It's located beneath the church because its function complements the church. Its purpose is to gather and condense the power of belief, thus making it to be able to store it. Marco Polo. Stored? What is used for? Carducci. It's there if we ever need it. Also, while the source may look rather large, it's in fact only a node, one of many. Around 100 like it exists. across the Sardinia League, and most of them are within the borders of the Sardinia Ecclesia. The remaining are located under the church belonging to members of the League. Marco Polo. In other words, there is a giant network of this spanning the entirety of the League. Carducci. Yes, and it's called the Lattice of God's Light. The source is the final node in the network. Once this inspection is done, it will connect to all other nodes, completing the network. Marco Polo. What happens then, after the network is complete? Carducci. I suspect you will gain unrivaled power within the area covered by the Lattice of God's Light, Your Grace. Marco Polo. Magnificent! Exclusive rights to the power of belief. What an ingenious idea. Hang on. Wait. This lattice sounds like the micro-layer transference system, and the nodes are like conceptual anchors. A network covering a vast area thus granting you unparalleled power? I think I know what this is. Marco Polo trembled, as though she had recalled something terrible. Marco Polo, in her thoughts, this is bad. Based on my experience, nothing good will come of this. For seconds she stared at the friend, who appeared in her mind, then immediately issued an order. Marco Polo. Baraka, Carducci, and Raffaella, postpone the plan to activate the lattice indefinitely. Indefinitely, yeah. We are going to inspect each and every node once more. Raffaella. Huh? Indefinitely? Why? Did you find something wrong? Marco Polo. My intuition sure did. This place is especially suspect, as it is the final piece of it all. Baraka, conduct a top-to-bottom inspection. An hour later, Baraka returned with bad news and gloomy look on her face. Baraka, it's as you suspected, Your Grace. I found signs of meddling. Не, ну мне надо же понимать, что такое meddling. Извиняюсь. Вмешательство. Oh. Certain crucial parts have been very obviously intentionally destroyed. Carducci. What? But we performed an exhaustive inspection just yesterday. Baraka. That means the saboteurs knew our plans and only caused damage after the final check. Looks like they didn't expect Your Grace to look twice at it. Thank goodness we identified the damage before it was too late. Marco Polo. How severe was it? Baraka. Quite severe. It's been rendered inoperable. Stop with these words, which I don't know. Inoperable. Типа не оперативно, что не... I think I understand. Не работающий. Inoperable, yeah, from the word operate, inoperable. Like, it's quite logical. It's been rendered inoperable, and it will take at least 2 weeks to repair. Marco Polo, I see. What would have happened had I not halted the activation due to my suspicion? Carducci, activating the lattice on its own would have caused any problems. But since this source is a tier 1 node, the lattice would have been certainly incomplete. In essence, its operating efficiency would have dropped, and the defensive power of the Republic of Florence would have significantly fallen. Marco Polo. So worse performance, but still functional then? Saboteurs, more like amateurs. Instead of just reducing the lattice working efficiency, they should have hidden a backdoor into the lattice. Then they should have waited until the moment I called upon the power, thus maximizing the damage inflicted. If Clemenceau were here, that's exactly what she have done. The memories of the past shook her heart like a tree in a gale. She shook her head and collected herself. Marco Polo, I will not make the same mistake twice. The church, God, these ancient artifacts, they all reek of siren involvement. But the last thing I will do is get stabbed in the back again. At the very least, I want to face the danger head on. No. What am I saying? I don't want to get stabbed in the first place! I will beat those cowardly conspirators to the punch. Expose them for the world to see and crush them beneath my heels. I have made up my mind. We will get to the bottom of this. Whoever did this, I will find them if it's the last thing I do. Since the sabotage happened yesterday, the perpetrator must still be hiding somewhere in Florence. Baraka, I will inform all the relevant parties and start an investigation. Carducci, and I will contact the government of Florence and negotiate for their full cooperation. Marco Polo, magnificent. Oh, and tell Alfredo and Da Vinci to give us a hand. One has many connections, the other is good at investigating. Furthermore, they have yet to pay me for using my private train. It's only 10 out of 36. I'm already quite tired. Kingdom of Naples, capital, mansion. A group of shipgirls carried out their final combat simulations at a massive sand table. Duca degli Abruzzi. Будет просто Abruzzi. Andrea, our spies in the Sardegna Ecclesia and Republic of Florence have reported that nothing has changed. They have brought their apostle, their key to further power, but for some reason they refuse to make the next move. As for the apostle herself, she has left to Florence for a little museum field trip. At least someone is having fun. Andrea, Florence, speaking of Florence, Caleone did a wonderful job of destroying their source of God's light there. Added to the 30% of subordinate nodes that we have seized in 4 countries, we should be able to minimize this threat possessed by the lattice of God's light. Giuseppe Garibaldi. Everyone, there has been movement in Milan. We have reports that they started gathering troops 1 hour ago under the pretense of an emergency military exercise. Cavour has personally headed to the border. Abruzzi. Wasn't the dukedom abstaining from this war? What are they planning? Surely they haven't changed their mind. Trento Meta. Do you think they are just doing their job as allies? It's entirely possible that they want to warn the Sardegna Ecclesia. Guido Cesare Meta. That would be bad. Andrea. No matter, we will mobilize our army per the plan soon. It was never our intent to keep this a secret. Garibaldi, let's deal with Milan as planned. Can you lead the Geonan fleet to monitor them for me? Andrea, if they remain neutral as promised, even after we have raised the banner of Eternal Night, then you may leave and join the attack on Florence. Otherwise, destroy them. Garibaldi. Right, I have already made preparations in that regard. Andrea. Trento, you and Bolzano will lead the Venetian fleet. Split into 2 teams and stand by. I will lead the kingdom of the 2 Sicilies on a frontal attack. Once the Ecclesia army is focused on the southern line, attack from the north and east simultaneously. We will seize as many nodes as we can in the short time we have, and deploy the banner of Eternal Night on the source of God's light. The lattice may be weakened, but we mustn't underestimate God himself. Only by neutralizing his power with meta-corrosion can we truly feel at ease. Once the lattice of God's light is converted into the domain of Eternal Night, it will grant us great power. All forces must stick strictly to the plan. Do not ransack facilities without a pressing reason. Trento Meta. We can handle that, but will you be okay? The ecclesial capital is all The Ecclesia's capital is all well fortified as they come. The lattice can still work in a reduced capacity on its own. And we don't know what weapons might be in those armories of God. We'll just have to overcome it with the raw force. The instant the banner is deployed, our chance of victory skyrockets. If all else fails, then do not forget that we have our own secret weapons. We have less than half a day left. Everyone prepare yourself. We'll celebrate triumph in Rome. Everyone, we will celebrate triumph in Rome. Unknown location, unknown time. When I return from the recorded memory beyond the door, the distant silhouette seems a little closer. It's again from our perspective as commander. Project M, Madame M, the magician. That figure and that voice. She spoke more robotically, but that was definitely her. Her number is first, but she seems to have been born after Hierophant, which is 5. Did Dr. Aoste really build the arbiters based on pure whim? What kind of orders to the Antiochus system? Antiochus. Yeah, I am reading correctly, it's not by my... What kind of orders to the Antiochus system led to the silence of today? The Magister plan, the crux of Aoste's work, a project that involved me and perhaps even Dr. Ansel, along with old friends who I can no longer remember. Observer called it a grand plan to create change for the future, and provided me with extensive records of experiments she had been involved in. Queen Elizabeth Meta simply described it as survival of the fittest, and as cryptically as ever, Helena Meta had only told me to trust in Dr. Ansel's decisions, nothing else. It's all too complex. I can agree. While I rack my brain over it, another door appeared on the path forward. I reached out to touch it and everything changed abruptly. The sea burns beneath dark clouds. Kimberly Meta. Witcher, the outer mirror sea has been pierced. It's only a matter of time before this place falls. We can protect it. Witcher, I can't believe they dispatched Devil and Hierophant just for one little support outpost. They must have figured out our plan. The main force is in danger. Kimberly, there is no point staying here. Fighting them head on would be reckless. Let's retreat. Witcher, I hate to outright abandon this base. Here I thought the Sirens would never think of checking a world that's been wiped clean. Arbiter the Devil 15. That's enough resistance. Why not surrender now? Witcher, you have got a big mouse, kid. Who is really talking so? Is it your puppeteer, Hierophant? Arbiter, the Devil. Well, I gave you the option to surrender. Now that you have refused. Many boom boom. I don't know. A series of thunderous booms erupted in the skies above. Space itself seems to collapse for an instant, heralding the appearance of one girl. Essex Meta. Where am I? Which Essex? No, that can't be. Our Essex left us so long ago. Are you a remnant of this test site, or did you wander it from another one somehow? Kimberly, which I think something much more problematic came in alongside her. In the distance, a great storm brewed. This song. It's an X. Beneath the storm, a fluid emitting an uncanny blue light coated the sea. Countless things seemed to struggle, squirm, and crowd upon it. Which mimic beasts? Arbiter the Devil. Change of plans, I have to fight those mimic beasts. Vice, does the X threaten her more than we do? Let's take this opportunity to retreat. Kimberly, should we take her with us? Essex Meta not responding. Vice, yeah, she might be useful in a fight. If she's willing to come, then let's take her. Arbiter's Devil, you will win some, you lose some. Mimic Beast coming straight for us, I would call it a loss. Hierophant, same plan as usual, I will amplify the rod of Hierophant for you. Neutralize it as soon as possible and stop the corrosion. I like this song with the X, it's like... It's creepy. The light flows ceaselessly. I'm still on the inside of the door, but I realize that the inside and outside are no different now. Chanting echoes throughout the pure white world and pierces my ears. For some reason, the strange, grating cowers sound oddly soft now. The cowers. It will take some time. It's in Шифр Цезаря. Well, I need to translate it. Thus, the Hierophant used its scepter. Блять, зачем я это перевел? Спасибо, игра. I open the Caesar Schiffer. Write it manually. Just that the next sentence will be the translation of it. Thank you. Okay, but I will still keep this open. Thus, the Hierophant used its scepter. The tide subsided, and down it sank into the depths. Okay. Gate 4. Unknown location, unknown time. When I return from the recorded memory, beyond the door, the distant silhouette seems a little closer. Подожди, я что, тыкнул случайно то же самое? О, я случайно тыкнул то же самое. Да, извиняюсь. The streets of Florence. In pursuit of the enemy saboteur, Marco Polo and the gang searched for clues near the city square. Alfredo Orianami. Here it is, pay attention everyone, my intel must be right. Baraka, my source pointed to this spot as well, but I don't see anything of note here. The scent cuts, Leonardo da Vinci. The scent cuts off here, too. Strange. My meow meow sniffer dog wouldn't make such an elementary mistake. Meow meow sniffer dog! What the fuck? I need to a little bit quieter. It's too loud for the music. Meow meow sniffer dog. Rafaela, could they just be really good at hiding? Leonardo da Vinci, hiding alone won't let you escape my doggy, not by a long shot. Unless they use some kind of special method to erase any trace of their presence. Marco Polo, question! The sand stops right as you get to the square, right? Not in front of a particular building? Leonardo da Vinci, you got it that right, your grace. Marco Polo, so you would say that it cut off abruptly. Leonardo da Vinci, yeah. Marco Polo, abruptly cut off. Abruptly. Слово слишком часто повторяется. Как оно правильно читается? Abruptly? Вообще иначе какие-то. Я иначе совершенно читал.
Abruptly.
Abruptly. Abruptly.
Abruptly.
Abruptly. Abruptly котов. Abruptly. Альфредо Арианами. Ва-ва-ва-ва-ва! Marco Polo, that's suspicious. Come on, come with me. Marco Polo walked back the way they had come, past the side where the sand had suddenly cut off. Check again. For me, Da Vinci. Is the sand still here? Leonardo da Vinci. When I checked just now, I'm pretty sure... Huh? What? It's gone! The sand is gone from this spot too! Is my invention really malfunctioning? It can't be! Marco Polo. I think I've judged this correctly. This is an area of distorted reality. We are trapped in an illusion. Carducci. An illusion. Marco Polo. Look around you. Do you sense anything unusual? Alfredo. I don't know how I'd be able to tell. Mark, I'm sorry, I don't know either. Marco Polo. That's fine. I want to feel a little bit myself. These tricks aren't very easy to crack. Raphael. Now that you mention it, something does feel a little off. Marco. Oh, tell me more. Raphael, like that building over there looks too new, and the way the light hits that other one is unnatural. The building in the distance don't really fit the rest of the street either. Raphael pointed in various different directions throughout her explanation. Actually, it's really easy to tell. Have you girls not noticed it? Naturally, everyone else was confused. Marco Polo, if you can see the incongruities, then that makes this easier. After a moment of silence, Marco Polo suddenly seems confident. Marco Polo, trying to trap an apostle. Как оно было? Apostle. Как оно правильно читалось? Твою мать. Apostle. Trying to trap an apostle? And a brilliant one at that. Our enemies underestimate me. I have 9 ways to break this illusion. Can you point out all of the incongruities? Этими словами, ну ё-моё, я тут английский учить пришел. Incongruities around us, Raffaello. Well, there are a lot. Like there, over there, and way over there. Oh, and there. Marco Polo, you can't just point. Mark every single one of them for me. Carducci, might I suggest putting those artistic skills to good use? Can you draw the correct scenery, Raffaello? Raffaello, of course! I know every one of Florence streets like the back of my hand. I could draw them with my eyes closed. Carducci, then do just that, please. We'll compare your rendition to the surrounding scenery. I'm confident that I can accomplish such precise work. Raphael, so basically I draw pictures and you spot the difference. Okay, sounds like we have got a dream team in the making. In the sunlight, Carducci stretched out her arm. The sun and breeze gathered in her palm. Next to her, Raffaella swiftly yet diligently sketched her renditions of the city. The wind blew each sketch into the Carducci waiting hand, and one by one they pieced together a detailed picture of the district. Carducci. Phew, my comparisons are going well. I wouldn't have noticed so many if not for Raphael's photographic memory. Marco Polo. Is this real magic? Carducci. Your Grace, this is but one miracle. Wrought one miracle wrought by the power of my faith. Raphael, it's brain power. It's brain power. Carducci. Normally I just use it to correct imprecise language in paperwork. Leonardo da Vinci. Brain power! Carducci. Yes, brain power. Let's call it that. Now, get to work. Don't you want to break this illusion? Raphael, not getting paid just wrecks my motivations, and I don't even get the slack off. Carducci, what did you just say? Raphael, sorry, I will draw now. If I'm only good at one thing, it's drawing. After a while, Raphael had finished her work. The final page floated on the wind to Carducci. With a flash of light, a detailed restoration of the city was complete. Raphael, all done. Carducci, my comparison is complete too. I marked every single difference down. Your Grace, what do we do next? Marco Polo, now that I have the correct perception at hand, the rest is easy. Now behold. The veil of illusion had been shattered, and the gang was back in reality. Not far away, they saw an unexpected figure. Bartolomeo Calleoni. You escaped that so quickly? Maybe I underestimated you. Leonardo da Vinci. Meow meow sniffer dog is reacting. It's her! Carducci. Bartolomeo Calleoni. Why are you here? Are you already doing it? Calleoni. Why ask questions you already know the answer to? On behalf of Andrea Doria, I came with a joint declaration from Naples, Sicily, Venice, Genoa and Milan for Her Grace. This is an era of freedom. Our league will no longer be bound by the shacklets of God. We must be the ones to pen the end of this long tale. As such, Your Grace, consider us at war. After that declaration, Bartolomeo Calleoni left an official written document and disappeared into a sudden puff of smoke. Alfredo Ariani. She got away. Let's chase her. Carducci, there is no point in trying. Besides, the situation is clear. There are more pressing matters now. Marco Polo. Hold it. Didn't the Republic of Venice send her to celebrate me becoming the apostle? Апостол. Я не выучу это, ё-моё. Почему я забываю? Apostle. Забудь про Т. Apostle. To become the apostle? Why in the world would she sabotage me now? Carducci. Andrea's faction has finally sprung into action. Marco Polo. What is Andrea's faction? The kingdom of the two Sicilies is allied with us, isn't it? Does springing into action refer to that declaration? They sent people here just to declare war on me? For what purpose? Музыка не громкая? Вроде нет. Marco Polo. Shackled stories. I don't get any of it. Leonardo da Vinci. Huh? You are the apostle, aren't you? Carducci, did you not explain all of this to her? Carducci. Her Grace has not been in power for long, so I had her focus on internal affairs to start. The plan was to teach her about such external matters bit by bit. As for her mentions of shackles and stories, those are simply Andreas Doria inflammatory propaganda. She's always believed that our God is harmful to the world, that we are shackled and bound to his whims, forced to follow his script, fated to face extinction after a caged and fruitless life. For a long time now, she's worked in a secret to win over a base of allies in order to overthrow Sardegnian hegemony over the League and separated faith and secularity once and for all. Of the 7 powers of the Sardinia League, the Republic of Florence and Dukedom of Milan have been steadfast allies of the Sardegna Ecclesia. But the kingdom of the two Sicilies, the Republic of Venice, and the Genoan Republic opposed us. In recent years, Andrea factions has gradually gained the upper hand on us. However, Upon the Holy See analysis of God's revelation, we learn that a ship girl apostle was the key to harnessing divine power. With that, the situation has been clearly reversed. We would expect her to take countermeasures, but not this soon. Marco Polo, why did you not mention that? Carducci, I'm sorry, Your Grace. We misjudged the situation. Marco Polo, well, if what she says is to be believed, then it doesn't sound like Milian's such steadfast ally after all. Carducci, we can't say for certain right now. It may be one of Andrea's lies. At any rate, there is no doubt that Florence remains an ally of yours. Marco Polo, that Andrea girl sounds awfully cunning. She knew just the right time to strike. Fascinating. Carducci, excuse me? Marco Polo, anyway, dividing faith and secularity must entail dethroning me as apostle, yes? I won't let her get away with that. Why? I will crush her with my own 2 hands. Raffaello, then what we do now? Carducci, we should return home and call a meeting of the College of Cardinals at once. Marco Polo, this is an emergency and you want to hold meetings? I'm in charge here. I call the shots. We are going back to Rome and everyone is going to obey my orders. I will figure out the strategy as we go. For now, let's set sail at once. For the sake of safety and speed, Marco Polo's group did not choose to return directly by train. Instead, they chose Carducci's proposal, crossing a few rivers to make straight for Rome. As a result, the section of the Arno River, flowing through the Republic of Florence, would become the most dangerous part of the return route. They rushed along the water surface, heading for the Sardegna Ecclesia territory at full speed. Somewhere on the Arno River, Baraka. The riverside sent a message saying everything looked normal, we might be able to go back safely. Marco Polo, I doubt it. There is no way Andrea would foolishly not anticipate that someone might take this route. She wants to capture the apostle, me. If she didn't, she wouldn't have made Bartolomeo go through the effort of erecting an illusion to the layers. All of you, keep your eyes and ears open. Kaboom. Carducci, here they come. That bunch is nothing if not bold. А чё я так тихо? Here they come. That bunch is nothing if not bold. Marco Polo, what did you expect? They appeared before us to formally declare a war. For goodness sake. If it's the apostle you seek, then I'm right here. Show yourself and state your names. From within the dark mist, 2 shadowy figures slowly come into view. Balzano Meta. You anticipated an ambush here, I see. Perhaps you are not as incompetent as the rumors say. I am Balzano, a knight of the Sardegna League. It's a shame we must meet under these conditions, Your Grace. Trenta Meta, silence. Marco Polo, Metas? Again? If we assume that Andrea Doretta is Meta as well, then perhaps their kind are commonplace in this world. Even Trento has turned. How strange. Trento, if a fight is inevitable, can't we at least have some pleasantries first? Why won't you say anything? Trento Meta. You are Marco Polo, the apostle, yes? Balzano. What is it, Trento? Is something wrong with her? Trento. For some reason this scenario is giving me an intense sense of déjà vu. It's like I have experienced it in a dream. Marco Polo. Is that so? Perhaps in that dream you and I accomplished something incredible together, is that correct? Trento. I can't remember. Balzano. That's it then, we have spoken long enough. Now that we have introduced ourselves, it's time you said your prayers. We won't go easy on you. Marco Polo took the words right out of my mouth. No sooner than I gained the position I desired was I forced into days of exhausting work Then when I finally got to go outside for a breather, I was attacked. My anger has reached critical mass, and you will suffer all of it. Come girls, after me. As soon as she said those words, Marco Polo commenced the attack, to the surprise of everyone around her. Trentamet, you are making them first move? How bold of you! Bolzano, intercept them! Ну, пока не пиздится. Ну чё, можешь послушать себе тоже на фоне, чё бы нет. Я тут пытаюсь, у меня уже горло болит. Столько пиздеть. О, я ж не просто читаю, я еще пытаюсь с эмоциями, если получается. Kaboom! Marco Polo's position after several clashes was far from disadvantages. If anything, her momentum was growing and growing, and the advantages was hers. Marco Polo, is that all you have? You're weaker than I anticipated, and your aim is so sloppy. You're clearly lacking in combat experience as well. Gentlemen, I'm impressed, Apostle. Frankly, I underestimated you. It's time to get serious. As Trenta said that, she took out an intricate black cube. Aha. Marco Polo, it's black, an origin cube? They have access to those things? All of a sudden, a red and black fog spread out and blanked the whole river. Trenta, our powers grow while inside the eternal night's fog. You, on the other hand, will suffer and languish due to its corrosion. Your fates have been sealed. There is nowhere to run or hide. Baraka, damn it, she's right. The fog is corroding our equipment and bodies. Your Grace, we have to get out of the fog immediately. Marco Polo, don't be hasty. All that's happening is the power generated by the origin cube is spreading out. It's but a cheap trick. Do they think they can do as they please when I have God on my side? We are near a district that has a source of God's light. There should be power stored there. Let us find out what we can do. An indescribable power surged forth, and the dark fog instantly turned ashen in color before dissipating. What? Trent, what? How is this possible? Marco Polo. It is possible to use the power of the lattice of God's light without even activating it? For being siren creation, that machine sure is straightforward in use. Did you think that was that? It's only the beginning. Marco Polo recited another prayer of sorts. The entire... Шучу за своего. Нет. Я так вижу. Marco Polo recited another prayer of sorts. The entire area was illuminated with golden light. The bodies of her and her aides glowing especially brightly. Marco Polo, this must be the world's images of paradise. Magnificent, this will be a good to reference. Raffaello, wow, what is this? Is this brain power too? Carducci, I never imagined you would call upon the latest power like this, your grace. Marco Polo, save the prayers for later. There's no time to talk. Stronger have we grown. Now show them your might. Oh. А так в школе бы читать, да? На уроках, когда литературы, блин, да? Вот такая была бы литература в школе. Гораздо было бы интереснее, скажи. Кабум, Рафаэлло. Haha, feel the power of art. Carducci, focus fire on one of them. Trento, they are actually pushing us back. Bolzan, it's hard to fully carry out an ambush decided on the spur of the moment. Victory is out of our grasp. We should retreat, Trento. Trento, you're right. I thought this was our chance to take her out, but alas. Next time we meet, Marco Polo, we will attack you head on. Marco Polo, not so fast. I have a message for your boss. They sure run away quickly. Leonardo da Vinci, let's chase after them. They will get away if we don't go now. Carducci, your grace, please be calm. Marco Polo, I am calm. I am calm. Why pursue them in the first place and risk walking to another trap of theirs? Those parting words will attack you head on. They just did that. No matter. The imperative now is to return to Rome and get full grasp on the situation. Regroup and head out at full speed. Ну, да. Но опять-таки, тогда уже нужен был бы, знаешь, не английского, а урок японского. О, это только 14 из 36. Я, наверное, прочитаю до половины. Я остановлю стрим, потому что я до 12 не успею тупо даже. Я не рассчитывал, что так долго будет. Надо было начинать гораздо раньше. Ровно половина это сколько будет? Это 18. До 18 дочитаю. 15, 16, 17. О, 18. Как раз таки перед разделением. Или дочитать до сюда, когда она по прямой пойдет уже. Ладно, я подумаю. Пока идем дальше. Kingdom of Naples, Borderlands, Remote Stronghold. Получается, я час 51 уже читаю. То есть почти 2 часа. Ну вот он реально так и выйдет, что 4 часа. Вот если я читал про себя 3 часа было бы, я вслух читаю 4, получается. Inside the Fort's command center, the Empress of the Eternal Night was organizing the latest intel. Гулио Чезаро Мета. Ну, я тебя тут не держу, иди. Спокойной ночи. Это так, по сути дела. The banner of Eternal Night is deploying as planned. Night has already fallen on 5 of the member states, including the Dukedom of Milan. As agreed, Milan will not mobilize and the Genoan fleet is already on its way to Florence. The Republic of Venice has split in two and its march on the Ecclesia territory has begun. It's but a matter of time before they raise the banner. We certainly got the jump on the Holy See. It's just a shame we couldn't kill Marco Polo. Andrea Doria. Yeah, it's deplorable. The apostle was born by prophecy from God. We slightly underestimated her capabilities in battle. Also, I'm concerned by that strange power of disintegration that Trent alluded to. The Holy See may be steadily gaining control of more powerful divine weapons based on this key. Giulio, there is one more thing. We have confirmed that a divine army is sealed inside of the armory of God that was opened the other day. Their combat capabilities are unknown, which is to say, there is a good chance that we will grapple with more divine troops than we anticipated. Andrea, share this information with Caviar and see what Milan thinks. What matters more than anything else is that the banner is raised. If we can't completely convert the lattice of God's light into the domain of eternal night, we can't get the power needed to engage the divine army on equal footing. The power Marco Polo demonstrated may come to pose a threat to the domain. Andrea, I entrust General Command to you. I'm going to head to the front line and launch the assault on Rome. I'll meet the Holy See in person. Sardegnia Ecclesia, Cathedral, Apostle's Office. Following Trentus and Bolzano's failed ambush, the group safely arrived back in Rome. The moment they returned to the cathedral, they were swamped with report after report, more and more coming in every minute. Carducci. All notes of up to Tier 3 in the two Sicilies, Venice, Genoa and Milan have been lost. All the while, Milan hasn't taken any sort of action. Meanwhile, Florence is currently engaging a fleet from Genoa. Florence nodes have evaded capture thus far, but their Tier 1 node aren't functioning as normal due to sabotage, while Tier 2 and 3 nodes are struggling to run at full power. At the same time, the first and second legation districts are being invaded by the Republic of Venice. Currently, Among the 10 legations district in which nodes are housed, over half of all Tier 2 and 3 nodes have been lost. On the bright side, the Tier 1 nodes in Bologna and Ancona remain under our control, as do the major Tier 2 nodes in Ravenna. The situation is worst in the 4th legations district, where all tiers of nodes were lost in the 2 Cecil's first surprise attack. The College of Cardinals ordered a full withdrawal. In the 3rd legation district it's not looking so good either. We are holding down the Tier 1 nodes in Perugia, but losses exceed 40% among the Tier 2 and 3 nodes. As for the capital district, damages are minimal. The enemies hasn't as much as taken one step forward for fear of what's in the armories of God. For the moment, the most important top tier nodes as well as the Tier 1 through 3 nodes are all safe. Marco Polo. How? How have they reduced us to this in so little time? Hang on. Something is missing from this report. How our troop what the fuck? How are our troop casualties and our equipment lost? Carducci. Those are still being counted. That being said, all the fighting is focused around places with a source of God's light. There is no damage to major naval facilities. Administrative buildings don't seem to be the enemy's target either, so evacuating them was straightforward and little damage was sustained. Marco Polo. It's clear what they are after. The latest of God's light. Carducci. According to our intel, they have been modifying rather than destroying the nodes across all regions following their capture. They are apparently using some equipment known as the Banner of the Eternal Night to alter the sources. Now, this is just my conjecture, but it looks like the banner draws from the same source of power as Andrea's faction does for Metamorphosis, and it's something they are using to counter the lattice of God's light. This leads me to believe they are corroding and converting the source to take control of the lattice for themselves. Marco Polo. Corroding and converting. So Metamorphosis isn't solely a destructive force. They seem quite adept at using it. I'll admit it is quite fascinating. Still, it's concerning how they want the lattice for themselves. That thing might present a problem. But wait, Andrea said something about breaking free from God's cage. Or whatever. So she means freeing themselves of the Siren's control. Why then won't they destroy the very thing that gives the Sirens control? Don't they know the risk? Well, one thing is clear, my position will get worse and worse if I don't step in and do something. If the Sirens wanted to meddle, fine. But did they have to get me involved? What a pain. Carducci. Your Grace, have you figured something out? Marco Polo. I'm just wondering, will the Legends of God's Light be rendered unusable if all the captured nodes thus far were destroyed? Carducci. No, the situation isn't quite that dire. Our technical division is currently carrying out emergency modifications so that the lattice in the vicinity of Rome can be activated independently. The work should be done within 2 hours. The core of the system converges around the outskirts of Rome, you see. As long as Rome still stands, even if all other nodes are lost, the lattice can still fully encase and protect the capital. By raising its output, it can even cover most of the ecclesial territory to some extent. In other words, Rome will become the next target. Carducci. We won't let that happen. The lattice protective casing around Rome will be impenetrable. Fuck. Impenetratable. So long as no nodes within its border malfunction. Furthermore, since all the nodes will be under Rome's protection, they will never be able to physically reach any node. Either. They would have to breach the barrier first. Marco Polo, our enemies aren't stupid, mind you. They already planned this far ahead, they probably have a counter to this idea as well. Wait, I've got it. I know why they are capturing the nodes rather than destroying them, despite their goal of freeing themselves. I thought it was too absurd to be possible, but it seems I have misjudged them. Trying to unshackle themselves from the sirens. Friedrich's exact goal. Of course they are not stupid. Carducci, I don't understand what you mean, your grace, other than that you seem to hold Andrea in high regard. Marco Polo, never mind it now, what matters is this. Andrea's goal is to take us down with her. And Carducci, with her? Your grace? Marco Polo, they haven't captured all of these nodes so they can keep the Lights of God's Light under their control forever. She wants to pit the power she controls against ours and use that clash to ensure mutual destruction in the end. The more nodes they convert, the higher the likelihood that her plan will succeed. If it works, they can destroy the Lights at minimal cost, and we will be caught with our pants down without our defense. Carducci, then are you saying that she's seizing the Lights not to use it against us, but to make that it is destroyed? Marco Polo, yes, clearly. She made it look as though she was slowly gaining control of it in order to throw us off. She wanted us to think we were in for a She wanted us to think we were in for a protracted war and concentrate our troops in Rome so she could eliminate us in one fell swoop. Clever, clever girl. If I wasn't familiar with the games she's playing, I would have totally fallen in for it. So, if she's coming to attack us, she will mostly definitely do it from the sea. Then we must immediately realize this to the College of Cardinals and rethink our strategy. Should we become reliant on the lattice? Сколько это может продолжаться, блять? Оно уже глючит даже у меня, мне надо перезагрузиться, но... Блядь. Should we become reliant on the lattice and unable to rebuild a defense line? We should consider the Cardinals' proposal from a while back to carry out the rite of the final judgment. Marco Polo, carry out the what now? Cathedral somewhere underground. After cursory look at some documents and having finished the necessary preparations, Marco Polo and Raffaello traversed a tunnel under the cathedral toward where the rite was to be held. The rite of the final judgment, it was a ceremonial procedure that was discovered in the armory of God that Marco Polo previously opened. The place where the rite was to be held was discovered on the same day. The rite was to be performed by the apostle alone, and Marco Polo was not to be accompanied by anyone. Yet for some reason she decided to take advantage of the chaos and bring Raffaello with her. After walking through the tunnel for some time, they arrived in a large room with an atmosphere much like that of the Armory of God. Raffaello, the ceremonial spot is just up ahead. Just walk up to that control panel in the middle of the hall. All I gotta do is stand by, right? Marco Polo, yes, just wait over here. I will go have a look. Можно это, блядь, закончить? Marco Polo walked up to the hall's center and gazed up at the massive sculpture before her that radiated a holy light. Marco Polo, a bit over the top if you ask me, but... Gazing back down, she saw what clearly looked to be a siren-made control device. Blue patterns sticking out from its black metallic surface. Marco Polo, typical siren design. For the rite of the final judgment, the chosen shipguard apostle would first interface directly with the doomsday device left by God and overcome the trials it presented. Should the emergence should the emerge triumphant, the doomsday device would awaken the divine armies, resting all across the archipelago and smite all of the ecclesia foes, letting God's light shine forever. Marco Polo, alright, let's see what this thing wants me to do. The instant... Я еще тише делаю, потому что она лагает еще больше и больше. Если я выйду, блять, оно все заново. The instant that she put her hands on the doomsday device, her surroundings changed completely. Можно на этом закончить. On the first day, the army of non-believers approached. On the second day, Rome was engulfed in flames. On the third day, Sardinia was engulfed by the long dark. On the fourth day, the divine army finally awoke. On the fifth day, the domain of eternal night collapsed. On the sixth day, the judgment of paradise lost came a second time. On the seventh day, God's light shone forever upon the world. A while later, Marco Polo regained consciousness. Marco Polo. On the seventh day, God's light shone forever upon the world. I get it! This is a synopsis of the tales the Sirens wrote. Andrea was completely right. They want to free themselves, so they were going to plunge the Holy See into crisis, leaving me with no option but to assist them in achieving their goals. Unfortunately for them, I am not going to fall for that. I have no interest in the Sirens' place. I mustn't allow the power gathered through the rite to go to waste. If we are to awaken something, to place our faith and hopes in, let it not be the Sirens, but rather what I myself believe in. With a plan in mind, Marco Polo returned to Raffaello. Raffaello, well, think the ritual will go well? Marco Polo, of course, but I have an even better plan. Raffaello, even better? Sounds like there is a reason why you brought me along. Marco Polo, first of all, do you think that story circulated by Andrea's faction is true or false? Raffaello, I'm just a painter, what would I know about that? Marco Polo, alright, then let's suppose... let's suppose Andrea come to you with money and commissions. Would you draw for her or not? Raffaello, I would obviously. I have done stuff like that before. Marco Polo, and what if I was the one paying? Raffaello, then that's even more reason to draw. What do you have in mind? Marco Polo, magnificent. So my commission is as follows. After Marco Polo had given Raffaello as much details as she could possibly master and even a few diagrams, she made herself Raffaello finally understood what to draw. Raffaello, are you sure you want me to draw this? It's beyond eccentric. It borders on the unsettling. Is this really your image of God? Never heard anyone pin an appearance like to this. Also, do you even need this for the rite? Marco Polo, I am the apostle, am I not? Raffaello, yeah, Marco Polo, and who would know better about God and rituals than the apostle herself? Raffaello, nobody, cause you're the apostle. Marco Polo, there you go, you dolt. Finally, what if I double your remuneration? Raffaello, well, the customer is always right. Your bidding is my command, your grace. Marco Polo, magnificent. Oh God, behold the grand stage which I shall offer to thee. How long this was? Really? It was too long. Okay, I will end on here because it was really long. I don't want to read this one and this one. It's for later. Uh, it was really long. Oh, fuck. Okay.